Hello. This is Big Monk Mentality. I am recording a YouTube video for whatever purpose. I got a sudden surge of inspiration at literally midnight because I got extremely bored after I finished studying. So I shall be reviewing week 6 and 7 of Unofficial's metagame Chungus League. If you're wondering why it's only week 6 and 7, it's because I'm an unfunny zoomer. Anyways, I'm just gonna get into the games. Week 6 has a lot of games because it's like the penultimate week. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's pretty good games. I was involved in one of these kind of, but like not really. Anyways, first matchup is Corey PK versus Kev. Kev is a pretty good player. I mean, he has a lot of chips. He's always been a presence in 1v1. He's always been fairly good. Though I'm pretty sure his team is already in playoffs. So that's why he's loading Arcanine plus Klefki. PK, very nice player. He's been around for a long while. He's had really nice performances. If you don't know him, he's the scion of Team India. He's probably played on he's actually probably played more team tours than me, and he's beaten Dom like 8 times, which is extremely funny. So I think I'll have fun watching this. Anyways, game 1. Dondozo Bold Donphan is a pretty interesting team. It looks like a very Frogfax team, or it looks like something I would build actually, because it's like 3 extremely slow mons, but like 2 of them are like extremely flexible. I'm pretty sure the Dondozo that here is Water Whale, because otherwise your Spectre matchup is complete dog shit. At most you can be Onko like trail based Donphan, but even then there's like some Spectres that will still mess you up, like Disable Citrus. Rare set, but like it's gotta be tough like playing into Spectria if you're not Water Whale Dondozo here, because I don't think you need to be unaware. There's a lot of the anything that bulks up on Dondozo is usually something that one of these two is handling, and I really the core of Bolt plus Donphan is really nice because unlike most like electric types like throughout history, Bolt has a really good positive matchup into basically every grass type. It has a good matchup into Wellspring, into Serpia, into Rillaboom, into Zarude. It's like the main grass types in SV, and all 4 of them have a really good matchup into both Donphan and Donzozo. So like this 2 grass week plus Bolt is pretty good. Plus Donphan covers a lot of fairies that threaten Raging Bolt very often. The Donphan Gunk Shot is a classic. I'm guessing this isn't choice Donphan. It might just be something like Expert Belt. It's extremely possible. I would run like Citrus maybe here, but like offensive Citrus is something basically just I run. Dondozo is pretty fine here as a third. I think you need to cover things like Meowscarada. You need to cover things like opposing grounds, especially like Ursaluna, which is really Donphan into Ursaluna is never consistent, and obviously Bolt's losing to Ursaluna. So, looking at Kev's team, I mean, it's pretty clearly made for fun because he's using 2 DT amounts, but like, you have Fire, Water, Grass, I guess. I'm guessing this is some kind of counter Wellspring. AV Arcanine would make sense here, and Klefki is pretty much always stall. In terms of clicks, I think from PK, a Dondozo click would not make sense. Because it's good into this, and depending on if you're unaware into this, because if you're unaware you can probably just start heavy slamming this. I'm not gonna open Galk here because I'm lazy, but I'm pretty sure you can just do that. But Gaff, if he's any degree of defensive Wellspring, has a really good Wellspring click here as well. So I think what the difference makeup of these probably the Bolt coming out into Klefki and somehow winning, because I think if you have taunted Thunderbolt you could do something, but training case damage is probably too high. So Onko Donphan is one saving grace, unaware Dondozo is another saving grace. From Kev, I think he's just gonna click the Klefki. We'll see how it goes. Klefki into Bolt. Okay. He start Thunderbolting. Yeah, draining case heals way too much. And Kev takes game 1. 1-0 to Kev. Game 2. It's not loading. Oh, okay, it's loading. Why is it so big? I'm usually using an ad block, but I'm on Edge for this instead of Firefox. Another pretty good team from PK. I think you're forced to be like banned hands here very often, and because your matchup into like Lander T is very terrible because you really cannot afford to be no like air balloon metagross here because you really require things like you like need AV for Prim, you need AV for Sylvie. I mean not Sylveon, like with Father Mons. Your Pult mirror also gets really bad if you're not AV because AV has much better chances like Specs Pult. Um, this Dragapult like off rip I thought it might be special, but this really looks like it might be physical to me because I don't know how you're beating. I mean, if you ban hands, I guess you have Rock Tomb, but like I don't know how you're beating like Volgrona or things like these. Or otherwise, it's the three is good, but I think it's just weird, hard to execute sometimes because you kind of I don't like ever running like three physical mons, right? Because look at it. Anything with count will mess you up. Anything that just like invest in more face stuff, like uh, a more Fizzduffy Haxorus messes up like these two pretty hard. And like if you like a Fizzduff Havan Haxorus, you just win against this team. And I know that's rare said and all right, but like principally you should not be losing to just people making teams bulkier than usual. Like I don't know what this team is doing into bulky Iron Hands, for example. So we'll see that. So this is probably like all physical. From that's my guess. Uh, Volcanion, Sylveon, I said yeah, okay. So all physical versus all special. That's crazy. Again, Chansey isn't a massive threat here, but again, I don't like just running all like three special, three attackers, three physical attackers. Well, Canyon is pretty much only clickable into this Metagross here. Just look at it from KF's perspective. Sylveon is probably like your best click, but this Metagross is also very intimidating at times because if you're not like Reflect Cresselia, Gross has a lot of lines where you can win, right? Because if you're like Trick and you trick an AV Gross, which this is very likely to be, you just lose. Sylveon is pretty easy to click here. Volcanion is also Volcanion is a click coming into Metagross. So it's all about, so if I'm KF, personally I'm clicking the Volcanion, but that might be the wrong play. Alright, anyways, let's see it. If I'm PK, I'm clicking the cross because it depends on. It's like too early to see, but like depends on how KF is playing. I would click the cross. Sylveon into Metagross. Yeah, I should. Yeah, Volcanion 1 because Gross is just very easy. Volcan. This should get a Volcanion. Yeah, shiny Gross. That's okay. Game 3. KF loads another serious team. Hoopa, Prim, Reggie. This is a very classic team, right? Hoopa, Prim plus you can run anything here third. Reggie is pretty nice. I think it's probably max speed because it doesn't need to be max speed, so it might just be max first step because you deal with Hoopa, you deal with Prims here, and you deal with Ursas here. But like having two slots that can really easily force out Ursas is pretty nice. Max, if you don't know about max speed Reggie, it's because zero speed Reggie has to like tie with Ursa, which is really bad. You just go run max speed, so like you are outspeeding outspeeding most Ursas, then you're outspeeding most Prims as well, so you just win very often. It's a pretty good team. I think Hoopa's forced to be maybe Scarf here because otherwise you don't really beat Meowscarada in the I mean, even in the Precast Trap world. Prim, I think should just be Specs here. Your Bolt matchup is actually kind of ass on this team, but again, it depends. Because this Hoopa can just be like some level of fish def and win. So just have Spadef investment and win. But again, this Prim could just be like Spadef Specs and win against Bolt as well. Also, like the most schizophrenic option is like being banded Red Shield, which also wins against Raging Bolt because it learns EQ. Looking at PK's team, it's fine. I mean, so this Garchomp plus Sneasler is like it's synergistic on paper, right? But then you put a Basque Legion next to it. You run Sneasler because you wanna beat Moon. You wanna beat Moon. You wanna beat the fairies. You wanna beat like Dark types. You wanna beat Hoopa. Those kind of things, right? And it can be really good for that. And it's a really like consistent Volcanion check back when Volcanion was like the strongest one. But you have like Garchomp, Basque, Caesar. So like Volcanion is really easy to force out here, which makes it a pretty good like load from PK because look at the matchup of KF's last team into this. It's like pretty cooked because I would have guessed Haban Chomp here, but I think this is more likely to be like fake out Sneasler. Basque is probably what they just put in to like take care of every remaining fairy and a cob and things like these. Um, I don't. But the thing is, right, again, Spectria is the issue. So either this is Life or Basque, which is very rare, and like two people know about that tech, or this is Ban Garchomp for Spect. I think I'm leaning towards Ban Garchomp. In terms of clicks, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen here. It's pretty standard. This Prim is like impossible to click here because it's only coming out into Garchomp, but Garchomp comes down into these two, right? So then again, if you ban Garchomp, you cannot click into this registry because it will be Balloon. If it's Balloon, you just die, right? Because you don't have anything to hit it with. But if it's lefties, you win. I think it's more likely to be lefties here because you want a better Ninetales Alola matchup most likely. But we'll see. Prim into Garchomp. Okay, that's a pretty good click from Kev. Yeah, nice. PK clicks SD turn 1. I'm not sure why. I think you. Okay, firstly, this is LO. Secondly, I think we just instead of clicking SD, you just want to go for EQ crit, which is yeah. So that's game 3. I think the score is 2-1 to KF now. Yeah. Game 4. Double Spectrial, double Urshifu load. Classic. PK's team is really damn good. You have like Kudra is like a kind of broken mon. It has a pretty good matchup here as well. Especially if you're AV Kudra, which I'm pretty sure this is. Spect is probably like just life orb here. And I'm pretty sure the Shifu is rapid. It depends, but it's probably rapid. This KF team on the other hand is also like pretty nice. I think this Zapdos is something that could potentially put in work depending on what the Spectre is, because Zapdos, which is like regular Elo Spectre, is weighted towards Zapdos. The problem is this Gurus being AV and knocking off the Zap and then winning. Another possible so KF can have a pretty decent Darkshifu click here if possible, but we'll figure it out. Let's see. Oh, it's double Darkshifu and this is Chopple. That's crazy. I guess you have to be because you want to beat. Wait, what do you want to beat? I don't get why this is the Chopple Urshifu. I guess so. Chopple Urshifu gives you pretty good odds into like Hoopa and Crown together, but I don't get it. I guess it's pretty good as a lure though. Yeah, so I'm guessing this is like AV with close combat then. I'm not sure why. Or it's banded, which is even rarer. So I'm guessing KF just saw this so KF just saw the 3 and clicked it. PK had the lure. That's nice. Lured. Anyways, game 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's 2-2. PK to KF now. This is game 5. I think Zapdos is a pretty easy click. I mean, easy in quotation marks because Volcarona is here, Smackdown, Lantucci is here. But it's definitely very clickable, especially if you're an offensive set. I don't think he will be an offensive set here. This is this Scarf a Shifu? Because you don't beat Meowscarada otherwise. I mean, you can be Chopple Gudra, I guess. But I don't think you want to be Chopple Gudra here because then you don't beat opposing Zapdos. So I'm guessing this is Scarf a Shifu. In which case, if it's rapid, you just insta click it, right? But I think it's most likely to be dark. In which case, so this team has a really bad matchup into Ursaluna. If you've noticed, like it does not it's really not favored there, especially like Fister for Sylvanas. But you are really going into like this entire team. So if it's rapid, I think you just click it. I mean, if it's dark, you have Rock Tomb and Ice Punch. Like Scarf should a pretty good click. From KF's side, I don't like his team. I'll be real with you. I'm pretty sure you don't need Smackdown Lando here, so it's probably like U-turn and Band Ape. That would make sense, kind of, because you can't really beat Prem between these two unless you're partial here and don't want to be partial here. You want to be Elo here to probably beat at the dragons. So I'm guessing from PKs there's a Shifu click. Oh no, Zapdos into the Ape and oh, it's Elo. That makes sense. Well, nice. So like he just cleared the offensive Zapdos. Nice. So it's a 3-2 to PK. So It's the last game. This it's not spoiler left, so I'm guessing he wins. Let's see how he wins. Basque Sylvan Scizor, this is my team. What the hell? It loses to I vibe build this. This loses to Amulet Zapdos because otherwise you had to be CM Rest Servion. But which is pretty funny. But Kev didn't load Sylveon. He loaded the team he won World Cup with against Indy, I think. He loaded the team Kev Little 11 won World Cup with. It's nice. Peckerant is like pretty tough to click. It's only coming out the Sylveon, but the Sylveon comes into like these two. And like it's very hard to click Peckerant into SD Scizor and Basque. But I think it's a very weird matchup for Kev, right? So I think he's just gonna click the Chomper, lose itself. No, he goes. He makes hard Pecker and click. I guess he has odds with all of these, but you can't really beat Scizor. Yeah, GG. Good series. I enjoyed watching that. I mean, I'm pretty sure neither of them built, but I enjoyed watching that. Kala Chashma versus Little 11. I should say two Indians. You say we are gonna watch 4 brown people fight. Nice. Kala runs an interesting team. Game 1, I'm pretty sure this is Bandit landed T because I've made this team for, and this this has to be Scarf Volcanion. He gets a fine matchup depending on whether this is SD Landed T. I hope it's SD Landed T because Band is really bad here. But I've run this kind of team before and I think I loaded Band. SD Landed T just wins against Ursa here. Zapdos is also pretty good click, but I have a feeling that Lit might be rest ground. So I'm guessing Kala clicks the Volcanion. Yeah, clicks Volcanion and loses to Specs Manaphy. He wins against Specs Manaphy. He quit. We gotta watch this. Oh, he's AV as well, right? Yeah, 30. Yeah, the crit fun him. No GG's. This is an interesting preview because Kala is running a frankly terrible team. You're running like 3 non-attacking mons, which is really bad very often. This Ninetales is not it. Your also check is probably like Specs Crest or Reflect Crest, which both can lose really bad. Peckerant is like fine here. It's not fine. You lose to this, you can never click it into this. It's a really bad matchup for Kala, I'd say, because your Crest is not very hot. Your Crest is pretty hot, but like it's your only click here, which is I never like. So I think Kala just clicks the Crest, yeah. And Lit wins with Facade. GG. So another funny thing you can do is for a while on ladder I should run Toxic Orb instead of Flame Orb because I was facing a lot of Cresselias that would just win against me because I wasn't doing enough damage. They would run like Fist Def, Trick, and Reflect sometimes. I don't remember, but like I kept losing to like Trick Resist as a Facade also. So I started using Toxic Orb. It was pretty funny. Front taught me that one. Charlotte Front. Another pretty ugly team from Kala. He really loves Zapdos as a clue, and like Water Steel plus Zapdos can never really go wrong. He saw a very similar structure like water, electric type with pause coverage into grasses, and then a Gloomon that beats fairies and things like these. Though I will say that I don't like the Haxorus matchup on this team at all because Fistdef Haxorus can really easily win. I've noticed this across like both series. Fistdef Haxorus would like really just tear into either Mon other side. Scizor is like only coming out into like the Registeel, but like you could just click Spectre into Registeel if it's either Taunt or Hex. Hex Spectre wins against Registeel because you just have fully powered Hex on their sleep and you can just CM up and they can't really do anything. They can't hit you with body press. So I think Kala's forced to click the Zapdos here. Yeah. Little wins the Taunt Spectrier and he wins the game. GG. So pretty clean win from Lit. Pretty much has a 3-0. I mean, not a 3-0. I mean, It's 3 on preview if you can't set guess. If you can set guess, it's 2-1. But like Kala just always clicks with Zapdos here because this. Anyways, I think the score. I should stop closing the games. What's this? We watch this, right? Score should be. Yeah, 1-1 right now. Score is 1-1 right now. I guess it's 2-1 now. This is a pretty nice team. It's a very Delamon-esque team because you have like Dragon and then Shatter, Steel Fairy, and then Amon like Superior. It's like this is a very SS squared team, which is why I say it's a Delamon team. Kala reloads this. I don't know why. Serp. Okay, fun fact. Serp probably loses to this Registeel, but there's a very niche Superior tech which is Worry Seed. You can run Worry Seed Superior to be Registeel. It's very funny. I don't think it gets it in SV. It gets it in SM. But if you ever play SM and you like for some reason you need to take a Registeel, you can use that. Anyways, I think you can't really click SOP very well here because you probably have but Dondozo is like pretty threatening here, so I think it's getting clicked because Don is Skada's best click and I think he's gonna click it. No, he clicks Registeel. Interesting. I guess he wants to outstall the left key. I'm just gonna skip through these because I know that what the result is. The Registeel always wins this unless your Worry Seed Superior. Pult would have lost this as well, but like Pult is pretty bad. So I'm guessing Registeel just like a really like almost 3 or more here because it's not entirely. I don't know the left key versus Registeel matchup, but I'm guessing Reggie just wins this because one your lefty is 2, clef keys is a shitmon, and Registeel is like actually usable. So like it's 3 of Reggie. Yeah, pretty fast clicks from both of them. Okay, so much more standard team from Lit now because like this was like kind of weird. It's like Dragon Fairy Grass, which is like fine. You run it to like beat because you don't beat waters with these 2 mons very often, right? So because especially because this is banned, you don't beat waters, so you have to beat like Serpentio and things like these. But like Meowscrod or Shifu and mod is like SC101, 101. Gren Val Zapdos is a very classic team. Again, I think I ran this similar team with like Water Shuriken, Laichi, sorry, Payapa Greninja, and Bandit Valiant, because that team just works really well because with Laichi with the Payapa Gren you just beat Metagross and then which threatens these Shamons pretty well very often. Other than that, Shifu. It's a pretty bad click here. I know it's Dark Shifu. I mean, probably it should not be Dark Shifu. It should be Rapid Shifu, but like, no. Sometimes it turns out to be Dark Shifu anyways, knowing Lit. Because you just want to solidify your matchup into like Spectrier. Even and like Meowscrod is a Protean mon anyway, so it doesn't really matter what like base type you are or if you're repeating types. Anyways, Moth is a pretty bad click here. You're clicking it into Val, I guess, but yeah, I guess you're only taking it to Val, but if you specs, you just don't want to click it at all. And it's pretty likely not to be specs. It can very easily be a special attack booster here because you already beat stuff like Prim with Meowscrod. Other than that, I think this Dark Shifu is pretty fine click here because you probably win against this Greninja and Gren reacts to this, but it's terrible click then. Like, it's fine if you're rapid because then the preview dynamics kind of changes and it depends on the rapid set that you are because then this Greninja is like completely useless, right? But Meowscrod is like Lit's best click here, so it's between Meowscrod and like Iron Moth here. For Kala, you just kind of go Zapdos, and then if you start Zapdos, you just go Iron Valiant. I think if I was Kala, I'm clicking Valier because Moth is like much harder to click. Yeah, Valvan. GG. This is another so let's like World Cup winning squad again, and this is Shifu, Zapdos, Kudra. I'm guessing Lit will just click the so fun fact, this Wellspring has like superpower, I'm pretty sure. So it would have won against Kudra, but like he clicked the P.E.K.K.A into I'm guessing Zapdos, which comes out into his very easy Wellspring click. GG. Final game, I'm pretty sure Lit wins this. Let's see, check it out. Um, Bolt is a pretty fine play because you beat pretty much every Shifu. There's a few you don't beat, but like you beat pretty much all of them. You beat like you don't beat AV, Adamant, Shifu, Dark Shifu, but you beat Rapid pretty often. You beat most like more non-AV Dark Shifus pretty often. Other than that, your Dark Shifu check is pretty much just Precurrent. But like I guess you beat AV only with like Taunt Counter like a Saluna, but like whatever. That's you're not running that here. Um, Ursa. Speaking of Ursa, pretty good click here. I guess it's your crown and your chomp check. So it's between. Well, I think Kailash is gonna click the Shifu, and I think let's just click his best odds into the Shifu then. Because it has to be rapid because look at this team. It's a Shifu crown Gotcham. You have to be rapid here. So you just click the Raging Bolt and you probably win. I was wrong. This is defense boosting Raging Bolt coming out into Haban Garchomp. Wow. That is a good tech. That is a tech. That's good work from it. That's a good. I like seeing some creativity. GG's. Good series. I'm gonna skip these two series because I've already seen them. I'm just gonna watch this one. Anonymous 1634 versus India 1. Anon, these two players, fun fact, had like very similar early careers. Anon, I really like him. I teamed with him in his debut back in last PL, and it was pretty fun. He's a player with a lot of potential. He's been beating everybody as of late, and I've really enjoyed seeing him grow in 1v1. I think he's a really good clicker, but like his building leaves a bit to be desired. I mostly seen him like reuse like really old teams, but in terms of clicking, in terms of like getting the plays right, he's like really good. And we all know who India 1 is, so I'm not giving you an introduction. Anyways, it's a interesting team from Anon. This is something I would build. In fact, I'm pretty sure I loaded this exact 3 like 1 year ago in like last chance qualifiers when MC reached finals against Telemon. I included this exact same team, and I made a Magnezone that beats Drag Up. Like Telemon was using like a lot of AV Regidragos, so I made a Magnezone that like was starting to beat them. Into fun memory. Blaziken is a pretty tough click here because again you don't know the zone, and with Indy 01 knowing Indy, this is like a very like. It's a team targeting a lot of what Anon has loaded in the past. Lando is a pretty easy click here, honestly, but like because if you have Psychic and you just beat Abe and you very often have Eugen for Koopa. But another good click here is just Registeel because like you need to click Ape to win against, or you need to be like Taunt Hoopa or like Trick Hoopa. I think Registeel is pretty good click because like Anon is really incentivized to score his one here. And yeah, Psychic Landivorous wins against the Ape that's very likely just coming into this Registeel or this Blaziken. It's harder to Blaziken because like Laiachi like Blast is pretty tough, hard hitting, and I've seen them run Wisp, but I think they'll always run Wisp. Mach Crown Prim is the most interesting team I've seen in a while. Meanwhile, Anon's team is like normal. It's a very hard team to like click Ursula into. And this Roaring Moon has a decent bit of pressure here, especially if you're EQ. But remember, Mach or Lolas often carry Drain Punch if they're AV, which would then make Mach a really nice click here. So I think it's between Mach and Prim for Indio 1. I think he's just gonna go for the Prim because Mach is like much tougher. Because Lando T can win, Roaring Moon can win, Wellspring can also win by just clicking counter. So I think Prim is so it's between Prim and Crown then against this Wellspring. But I think Indy's gonna bank on the fact of like Wellspring just being auraed out of this match. And no, he clicks Crown into the Wellspring. Perfect. Okay. Good click then. He clicks Psyshock turn 1, then he gets Cudgel, then he clicks Iron Defense, then he... What? Why didn't you just spam? Okay, one, your ID without your speed booster ID without stored power. Two, you let yourself get hit that many times before you started. What? Okay, I'm just confused at the scheme. I'm moving on. In on up two. Yeah, it's 1-1 right now. Anon brings a certified bomb to even XC team. I've seen bomb run this exact same team before. Holy shit! I mean, not this exact same team probably because it has an Ashifu and it has an Espatra. I mean, Espatra is a problem. Ashifu's not. But he's a Hydrogen user, and I've seen this team on ladder before. Um, Hydra is not a bad play here at all. I mean, depending on the Hydra set, because you like hard lose to Blaziken, right? But if you taunt, you probably taunt EP, you probably beat Registio, and I'm pretty sure that a Elo Hydrogen Draco Meteor should beat Landorus, hopefully. But again, if you're Rapid Shifu, you just click it here as well. No, Esparta's clicked. I guess because it like beats this, and should beat this in theory because stored power at like plus one, like plus 18 does a billion. Feather Dance. That's. I think Anon is not wrong for clicking Feather Dance turn 1 because like this is a lot of damage coming from knock. It might genuinely be like some kind of weird place again. He's not wrong to Feather Dance turn 1 here, it makes sense, but then again, Roost turn 1 is not a bad play at all. I mean, he can't predict knock, it's like very tough to predict knock here. I don't know why I carry protect on my Spatras more than often than not, so I would have clicked that, but Feather Dance, can't blame him for that. Really good tech from, good work from Indy bringing a mon that gets a win like this. So it's 2-1 to Indy 0-1 right now. And judging from the replays left, I guess Indy's gonna lose. Sizzo is okay. Indy brings this team again, which is like classic Indy 0-1 tactics. I'm hoping Anon brought a rapid. He did, and he's gonna lose because this is in fact weakness policy, and he did not bring Aqua Jet for some reason. That's fine. I mean, if you don't do that, I guess you have to. I mean, so I'm guessing this is banded, right? So if you're banded here, you probably want to be banned Aqua Jet because against Indy very often, if you notice he's like doing this kind of stuff, you want to hard CT him. Like if you guys want to know how I would beat Indy 0-1, I would just like start CTing him back because he's prey to the same things that he's like really massively a victim of the same things he does for other people because of the way he builds. He ignores the same mons very often while in one session, and if you haven't brought him on, or like if you haven't like shown that your rationality like can account for certain sets, he just won't account for it very often. So you can bring stuff like Aquajet, ban Ashifu, which fun fact is a Sneasler tech, and you can just like goob him. So I think against Blaziken it would have been worth it just bringing in Aquajet. Though I get the game here where like, oh, do I bring Aquajet and like have a 3-0 matchup against this, but like the Blaziken might win anyways. It might be some weird Blaziken, or do I just bring a normal Ashifu and then have a better matchup against a normal team? That's the dilemma here. Also, you should like bulk. I don't know if you can bulk Landorus Psychic, but like I would just run like Max per F Ashifu Bandit right there. Anon brings like the most challenge. This is just the most SV1D1 team of all time, like PL team of all time. While Indy brings 2 gimmick mons plus hands. Pekka's not a gimmick mon. I mean, lead seed stall plus hands, which is like fine. Pekkarant is pretty bad here because you lose to this if it's taunt. I mean, if it is taunt, you lose to this, probably. You only win against the Florges. Problem being, Florges, if it's high noise, is probably going to be clicked into this and this, like charm Cynos kind of thing, right? Which is very possible here. So I'm guessing that Indy is just gonna click the hands though. Yeah. So because hands is like your best option into things like this curve coming out, right? Into these two. Last game, it's a repeat of the first game. That's interesting. Oh my god, the music off. Muted. Okay, I guess. Zone is again fine click here, so I'm just gonna skip to the end. Um, Indy clicks knockoff to take out the Salak Berry. That's interesting. I thought it would be like weakness policy. Uh, Aeon clicks 163. Ooh, that's interesting. So you do 81 with the Thunderbolt right here. You know he's gonna click Flare Blitz or like High Jump Kick or Close Combat. No matter what he clicks, if you're Salak Berry, you should be Endure. That's like principally, even like if you custom a Salak, you should always have Endure on you. If you Endure here, you just win the game. But like, pretty well played from Indy 01. Indy won the battle, guessing he won the series. That's nice. Pretty fun, very fun series to watch. It was really nice. With that, let's move on to this week 7. There's 3 games played here. I'm guessing everybody else is like dead game because it's last week. You have RL versus Lost Shears. I don't know who RL is. I'm gonna guess they're a singles player. You have Lit 11 versus Happy SH. That's my boy Henry. Shout out to him. And there's Me Empty. I'm not sure who they are versus some random doodle. Shout out Doodle GPT. Anyways, oh, I'm guessing they're the same person. Oh, I'm guessing they're on PK's team because they just use the same team that PK used. So unlike that game, Metagross is a pretty bad click here because again, Counter Galar and Volcrona makes it just tough. You beat Bolt, but then these two should also beat Bolt. From Lost Heroes' team, I would generally guess something like Haban Bolt or like AV, but nobody uses AV other than MU, I guess, because these two mons do not beat like Walking Wake or Specs Bolt at all. I mean, if you're AV Zapdos Gala, you probably like can knock off a Specs Bolt, but I mean, one of a Walking Wake can be partial Wake, can be partial Volcarona, which would make sense, but like I don't think the structure leans itself, and you just want Elo on the stream again for firepower to deal with like physical dragons, things like these. So I think if I'm RL, I'm clicking the Iron Hands on my team and just like beating. So because this raging, look at this Raging Bolt click, right? It's coming out into this Dragapult if it's Haban. If it's not, it's just not coming out. But I'm pretty sure this is banned Iron Hands, because otherwise your matchup into Grants is trash. So if you ban hands on this team, you probably want either EQ or Rock 2. Ban hand also always wants along with the fist def you get for like bulking Gandalf, you want Spadef, right? So you probably do have a pretty good matchup into Volcarona. At the same time, I think I would just click my physical. If I'm physical Dragapult, I'm clicking it because again, it being Haban Bolt is a question mark. And this Volcarona is a pretty good click here because they don't know. I guess RL being a non-mainer, they're just gonna see that hey, this Zapdos Gala is a really hard click, and it's like the most probable check for this Dragapult is Zapdos Gala. It's a pretty hard click because you have a Metagross and you have Iron Hands. So I think what they're gonna do is they're just gonna pick this Dragapult into Volcarona and Raging Bolt. Okay, so there's no item reveal, so this might just be Haban. It's not, it just dies. And it's Life of Dragapult. That's an interesting set. I haven't seen that one before. But this Bolt just died. I'm going to guess that it's like AV then to beat Walking Wake and things like these then. That's interesting. That's nice. Other than that, all it's like weakness policy, which just doesn't make sense. Game 2, again with the Basque, Sylveon, Scizor. You ran into the 3-0 Zapdos matchup. Also, I'm pretty sure this is Laiachi Scizor. It's like extremely possible because I made this team with Laiachi and I think I passed it to PKU, passed it to them. But like, if I'm RL here, I'm clicking this Basque and just trying to crit through the Zapdos with Wave Crash, or just like hope the Zapdos. Because I think look, with Zapdos into Basque, especially like Clear Amulet Zapdos, I'm pretty sure the one you need, if you low roll Wave Crash and then low roll, get a low roll on the Zapdos Thunderbolt, I'm pretty sure you can survive the recoil and then wave crash into Aqua and then have odds, but like there's like odds on top of odds on top of odds, right? What you want to do on this team actually is be see like Amulet Sylveon, but like it's not that, or like lefties CM Rest Sylveon, but you're not that. Otherwise, it just loses to Zap. So I'm gonna see what happens here. Yeah, you just reveal Rest right now. Oh, it's Elo. Never mind. Okay, you just lose to Zap. So it's like 1-1 right now. Pretty good team from Lost Heroes. We've seen this one already. Something I've noticed about really good 1v1 teams is that you always have like some kind of internal like, rock paper scissors within them. Like Hoopa beats Basque, which beats Diancie, which beats Hoopa. You know what I mean? And because it's just how good teams and good team structures on 1v1 lend themselves. It's here happens here too, right? Like Bolt beats Dondozo, which beats Donphan kind of, which, and then Donphan beats Bolt. Yeah, like it's a very interesting phenomenon I've noticed. So this is something Radu taught me. Shout out Radu for that one. I think if I'm RL, I think this Hoopa is the most probable click because I'm pretty sure this is Specs Hoopa. It doesn't make sense not to be. So if I'm RL here, I'm just gonna be clicking my Donphan because one, look, this Basque has to contend with one, this threatening as Raging Bolt. Because one, remember, Diancie has to specifically AV to beat Bolt, and then if it does that, it has a very very hard time beating Meowscarada. And I'm pretty sure that this is the Meowscarada check on that on Lost Shield system, because otherwise why would he use that Diancie here? So I'm guessing this can really just like lose to this Raging Bolt, this Diancie, and then Basque versus Dondozo is like you have to contend with the banded Dondozo EQ, which is tough as hell. So if I'm RL, I'm clicking the Donphan and I'm winning against Hoopa Unbound. Because I don't trust this Bolt to win against Hoopa Unbound as well. Okay, showdown go down. What the hell? Okay, I guess I'm pausing the recording. Okay, so showdown has gone down with the result of like this last game, which I checked on my phone, which is it's basically like the Raging Bolt comes out into Hoopa and then it crits, so it wins. We're gonna check this game out next. It's like RL. The score is towards RL right now. It's a very weird team. It's a very frog-coded team. From Lost Heroes, pretty standard. I think this Ninetales is a good click here. I mean, it's a strong click here because it's 2-1 into this Latios. Latios? Yeah, Latios and this Chen Pao. And this Chen Pao especially is like pretty threatening here because it's coming out into this Rolling Moon and this great GT. So I think LH is clicking this Ninetales because that's just kind of the player LH is. From RL, I'm always like instructing Sneasler, especially if I'm like sub, because sub Sneasler can like sometimes beat out Bandit Great Tusks and things like these. Yeah, I'm playing Sneasler. Yep. Lastly, we have this game, Mezigros, Avila-Hisui, Zapdos, and then we have a pretty boring team from Lost Heroes. It's like, yeah, you play, yeah, I play SV1v1. This is my team. TFS, Val, Volcanion, Haxorus, yeah. RL has an interesting click here. Okay, now look, Lost Heroes has a very very bad matchup here. Look at it. This Val loses most like, okay, if it's, I'm guessing this on this Val, or like disable Val at least. So this Val loses to this Metagross and this Zapdos. This Volcanion is coming out only into the Metagross, right? And this Haxorus is coming out only into this Zapdos, unless you're like magically counter Fizz Dev, in which case you are Jesus Christ and you deserve to win this game. Because this is not a counter Haxorus structure at all. This is not what Lost Heroes runs. I would just click, if I'm RL, I'm just clicking this Metagross and winning, or like, because like this Volcanion is just not coming out. But like I think the best play for RL here is actually this Zapdos, because if you look at it, this Volcanion is like more directly clickable, and if you're Wisp Volcanion, you just win against Avlok, so you always click it. While this Haxorus is like actually impossible to click unless you're like Mold Breaker, I guess. Because the Zapdos is just like a very very free click here, and this Metagross is disguised as like the fake free click. If I'm Lost Shores, however, I am like insta clicking Volcanion because like a lot of people click Metagross and I'm the only person that will click Zapdos here. Yeah, so if I'm RL, I'm clicking Zapdos. If I'm Lost Shores, I'm clicking Volcanion. And I won. Ooh, sub. What? It says 75. 75. Oh. Oh, they messed up the HP numbers. Oh, that's. I want to figure out whether that's something that's like easily doable. Because that doesn't seem normal to me. I don't think Valiant just naturally has uh, divisible. So to have like that kind of perfect these three subs, you need to have an iron. Your mon needs to have its HP exactly divisible by 4. So if I'm like a standard um, booster energy Valiant, right, with like reversal and all, this is booster speed. Yeah, I don't have that because 289 is not divisible by 4. So like you need to like specifically EV your Iron Valiant to have like I guess you gotta go like this. I mean you gotta have like exactly 300. That's the closest benchmark. That is crazy. I don't know why you would build that set. Right, so RL wins this pretty cleanly. Nice win from RL. Next we have Lit 11 versus Happy SH. Henry, once known as Bob Hobson Jr., has just been like chilling and he just like plays the game, and, like loads his funny little mons. P2 is a very Delemon team, like P2 Scissor Moth. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is a Delemon team. This is something she put in her post PL team dump. Like literally 2 PLs ago. Holy shit, bro! Why is he loading this? Wow. Lit runs a pretty good team. He has like, I mean, he can just click hands and win. I'm pretty sure. He clicks the Moltres because I guess he has a good matchup with speed too. Oh wow, this Acid Spray into overheats fun. That's crazy. I would have clicked hands. Henry again with the heat. What's funny is that this Moushold is clickable into this Azu, and this Armor just clicked into the other two probably. But like you have no, I mean Moushold is a pretty good click here, so I think you just click Armor Rouge. Yeah, okay. Let's just call it out. This is that you're not clicking Moushold. Because like Marshall is kind of too easy to click, I guess, and Armor Rouge comes out specifically into Metagross, and Henry often does this thing where he just like over focuses on the other side of the game. Like he doesn't really focus on like how his clicks appear to his opponent. So like he's gonna click into this Metagross because it looks like the 2-1, and this Marshall looks like it's 2-1, and things like these. Another very standard squad from that. He loves this Wellspring, loves this Garchomp. I'm pretty sure this is his Wisp for Corona. Henry runs Chansey for some reason. This is okay. Peckerant is pretty clickable here because you need to be a very specific set to beat for Corona. So I would just click the Pecker here, and I won. Weakness policy Peckerant is. Ooh boy, and the knock activated it. That's crazy. Sandy Shocks is a bringer for all time. I think literally just click the Ursaluna and win. Wow. Instantly devoured. Crazy. I don't know what Empoleon does in the post Custap world. Its only good set was Custap. I guess you can be Balloon. It's pretty useless here. I think Henry's like kind of forced to either Empo or Molgi, in which case Gek probably wants to go Hoopa into the Empo and then Kyurem into like the Moltres and then Crown into the Fazan, which is like a very awkward spot to be in. But like I guess Henry can just click the Empoleon. Yeah, Balloon. Oh, that's sad. That is sad. Frozen. Man, that ad, the intro for that ad down here was actually pretty cool. I like that. Um, I guess this is bandit part. So if it's specs, you just click it right into this, and I guess this. I mean, not this, but like into this. But I think there is much more inclined to just go his offensive Manaphy here. Yeah, allowing my Manaphy win against the Shifu. Um, Again with this code from that level. I think I'm pretty sure KF will this in World Cup. Backs is questionably clickable here, but I think the real click coming from Le Happy Henry has to be like, if it's chopper backs, you just click it right. But then again, Gudras, I mean, a knock Gudras pretty easy to click right, and like Blaziken needs to contend with these two. So I think Lil just clicks his Gudra and wins. No, he clicks an ape. Whoa, that game happened. Ouch. So I'm guessing his weakness policy then. He clicks endures on one looking for CC. That bulks up because so an easy way to figure out whether this ape is gunk bandit gunk or not is like doesn't need to be you probably want like better matchup into physicals and things like these by being bulk up or like citrus because you have a Zapdos and you have a Gudra. You don't lose to any fairies, so you don't really need to be that upset because again this wins against all the crowns as well. So you probably want this to like beat out every single Metagross and things like these. Henry clicks endure for the CC, doesn't work. Then he SDs, and he SDs again. I think it's at this point that it's a 50-50 on who clicks what. Back he clicks SD again. Ape clicks CC. I think if Henry clicked like his whatever crash move, like whatever ice move he has here, and then Ape clicked bulk up again with citrus, he just wins. So he had to endure here, and that was his only win con. But then again, the reason Dirk can like pretty safely CC here is because one he's at +2, and Henry only goes up +1 from like +2 from this say just one more SD, right? So like in theory you should endure there because your this SD means nothing, but Lit can pretty easily CC here because like this you only go, if he endures he's only going to +2 and he's going to still be at +1, so maybe he has odds there, things like these, and he wins the game pretty decisively. Final quick series, me MT versus some random doodle. For Viltrum is a crazy name. I'm pretty sure this me MT person is banned. Anyways, standard teams other than this Makarola, I guess Muck is actually not bad to click here, but depending on how good your meta is, if you're the stall set, you just win, I think. But if I'm for Viltrum here, I'm clicking this Metagross, and I lost. Crazy. Citrus spec, that's respectable. Why is this Oslo here? I'm clicking this Iron Hands if I'm for this person because yeah. So okay, so here's the issue, right? If your hands into Wake, you always need to have fake out because otherwise it's like you never win. You now need to hope they miss, right? This is why you keep fake out on hands because you don't win against Hackstress and you don't win against like Walking Wake if you don't have fake out. Yes, both of those ones have ways to win anyways, but like that isn't what matters here. You need to have fake out. You don't drop fake out on hands ever. Doodle brings this, and I think this guy is just gonna click his Arcana and his Hisui. And he won, yeah. Scarf, Arcana, Hisui. So GS does, so Doodle does the thing where you go back to the standard team. Gudra is clickable here if you're not, but you're not Chopper. I think if I'm Doodle, I'm just clicking the Shifu because who cares about the Wellspring? Yeah, you're endure weakness policy. That's nice. I love seeing this set being used more because it's such a broken set. I call it Darcy or Shifu because um, Bofer invented it back in SS with like Dark Shifu and like Poison Jab. It's a really good set. I love it. I love to see it. I like to run reversal over low kick because you can start beating a lot of iron crowns that way, and even iron hands. Yeah, yeah, good win because if this Wellspring is slow, you can win against Wellspring as well. Lastly, Doodle brings Mono Grass, which is very funny. I'm pretty sure he's going to click the Zarud and win. GG's. That was a series. So yeah, that's Chungus League. I've seen these already, so I don't want to go over them because like I won't have any reactions or like any analysis to give that I already haven't done. Um, give this video a like and subscribe. I guess I don't know what YouTubers do. I'm kind of just copying Dominique. I have a few more videos planned. This was just like a quick thing I wanted to do to wind down from studying. I'm probably going to make like 2 videos before PL. One will be talking about like how to learn old gens fast because I had to learn like 3 old gens really fast when I won classic, and the second will be about like how to, I guess, improve at 1v1 fast. I haven't decided on like what I actually want to talk about in that video. It's like just general idea floating in my head. But the first one, how to learn old gens and like old gens fast, that's definitely gonna be created. So yeah, that's that for this video. For music, I was listening to this really nice Liquid DNB and Jungle Mix Nokia N250. It's legendary. It's like really nice. The cover is nice. This Share One cover. Um, yeah, that's that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night. Have a good day.